People always say marriage teaches you patience, which is true mostly because you spend half your time waiting for your spouse to finish explaining why you're wrong about something you didn't even know happened. I've been married long enough to realize coffee and marriage have a lot in common. Both start out hot and exciting. Then, over time, you're just trying to keep it warm enough to stay awake through the conversation. And confusion. Oh, that's basically my love language. My wife says, "Can you grab the thing from the place by the stuff?" And somehow I always fail the mission. Every day is like a pop quiz with no study guide. But here's what I've learned, and this is the motivational part. I guess confusion is actually a sign you're living. If everything made sense, you'd be a robot. And robots don't get married, they just recharge. So, yeah, I'm not here to give you advice on how to fix your marriage or how to order the right coffee. I'm here to tell you that being confused is okay. It means you're learning, growing, and hopefully still caffeinated enough to laugh about it. People think motivation means waking up at 5 a.m. and running through a field yelling affirmations. Not me. My motivation is just trying to remember why I walked into the kitchen. But here's the thing, life's a lot like that cup of coffee that's too hot to drink, but too expensive to throw away. You've got to let it cool, take it slow, and keep sipping, even when it burns a little. Marriage, coffee, confusion, it's all part of the same lesson. You're not supposed to have it all figured out. You're just supposed to keep showing up, keep laughing, and keep trying, preferably before your coffee gets cold. Confusion is proof of progress because it means your mind has stepped out of the comfort of what it already knows and wandered into a place where answers haven't been built yet. When you're confused, it's a sign that your brain is trying to stretch, trying to assemble a new shape from pieces it doesn't fully recognize. It's like standing in a room you've never been in before, reaching for a light switch in the dark. You fumble, you hesitate, but every attempt makes you more familiar with the space. The discomfort you feel isn't failure, it's growth in motion. Most people mistake confusion for a dead end, but it's really the sound of gears turning, the whisper of something new being born inside your understanding. It's the bridge between what you once thought and what you're about to discover. Every great idea, every revelation starts in that fog where nothing feels clear and everything feels possible. Confusion humbles you, but it also invites curiosity. It makes you ask better questions, and it teaches patience. It shows that you are alive in the process, not stuck in certainty, but open to discovery. Laughter keeps relationships alive because it softens the hard edges that time and routine can create. It reminds two people that even in the middle of chaos, there is still room for joy. When you laugh together, walls crumble, tension fades, and connection returns to something simple and human. It's not about telling jokes or pretending everything is fine. It's about finding lightness in the middle of ordinary days. A shared laugh becomes a secret language, a tiny rebellion against the heaviness of life. It says, we're still on the same team. In moments of disagreement, laughter can reset the tone and make space for grace. It reminds you that love doesn't have to be perfect to be real. Over time, the memories of laughter outlast the reasons for arguments. They become the glue that holds people together through change, mistakes, and misunderstandings. Every time you laugh with someone you love, you breathe new life into the relationship. You create a rhythm that's stronger than silence, a pulse that keeps the bond from fading into habit. Laughter doesn't solve every problem, but it keeps hearts from closing. And that's where every healing begins. Coffee equals energy plus patience, because it teaches you how to start before you're ready and wait while things come together. The first sip wakes you up, but the time it takes to brew reminds you that good things require a little patience. It's not just about caffeine, it's about rhythm. The aroma slows you down, the warmth grounds you, and the taste pulls you gently into the present moment. In that small ritual of pouring and waiting, there's a hidden lesson about life, how energy without patience burns out too fast, and patience without energy never begins. Coffee balances both. It fuels the body while calming the mind, giving you the space to think before reacting, to breathe before speaking, to begin again when the day feels heavy. Every cup is a reminder that you can restart at any moment. The energy pushes you forward, but patience helps you endure the process. It's a symbol of renewal, a quiet motivation that says, you've got this, just take one more sip. Coffee becomes more than a drink. It becomes a daily teacher that whispers about persistence, timing, and the small strength found in ordinary moments. Don't aim for perfect, aim for present, because perfection is an illusion that keeps moving just out of reach, while presence is the only real moment you'll ever have. The pursuit of perfection drains joy, making you chase an image that keeps changing with every step you take. But when you choose to be present, you trade pressure for peace. You start noticing the beauty in the imperfect, the laughter in mistakes, and the meaning hidden in small moments. Being present doesn't mean ignoring growth. It means valuing the process as much as the outcome. It's in the unfiltered, unpolished parts of life that authenticity lives. Perfection often hides fear, the fear of being judged, of failing, of not being enough. Presence, however, invites courage. It lets you show up as you are and find strength in simply doing your best. Every great memory, every deep connection comes from someone choosing to be fully there instead of waiting for the perfect time or the perfect version of themselves. When you aim for present, you begin to live with gratitude instead of anxiety, seeing progress not as flawless performance, but as honest participation in the moment you're already standing in. Growth starts with small mistakes, because every stumble carries a lesson that success alone can't teach. Mistakes are the quiet teachers that shape understanding and build resilience. They reveal the edges of what you know and push you to reach a little farther each time. It's in those tiny missteps that creativity and clarity are born, because failure forces you to look closer, think deeper, and adjust your approach. Perfection may look impressive, but it rarely teaches you anything new. Mistakes, on the other hand, give you feedback that is honest and immediate. They remind you that progress is rarely a straight line. It's a dance between failing and trying again. The courage to make small mistakes opens the door to greater confidence, because it means you're willing to take risks without the fear of being wrong. Growth doesn't demand flawless performance. It asks for persistence, humility, and awareness. Every correction strengthens character. Every recovery builds skill. Small mistakes are like stepping stones across uncertainty, each one guiding you closer to mastery. They prove that you're in motion, that you're learning, and that every imperfect step forward still counts as movement toward becoming something greater. Humor heals daily frustration, because it turns pressure into perspective and pain into something lighter to carry. When life throws confusion, delays, or disappointments your way, laughter interrupts the spiral of stress. It reminds you that you don't have to take every moment so seriously to make it meaningful. Humor creates space between you and the problem, allowing you to see it from a kinder distance. It doesn't erase challenges, but it changes how you experience them. A shared laugh can turn an argument into understanding, a bad day into a story worth retelling, and an overwhelming task into something manageable. It's a natural reset button for the mind, helping you breathe again when everything feels too heavy. Even in silence, humor softens your attitude toward yourself and others, turning impatience into empathy. It teaches that the ability to laugh, especially in hard times, is a quiet kind of strength. Every smile becomes an act of resilience, proof that you can choose joy even when circumstances don't offer it easily. Humor becomes a bridge between frustration and peace, transforming ordinary tension into a moment of relief that keeps your spirit flexible and your heart open. Marriage thrives on grace, not logic, because love doesn't follow formulas or rules that can be solved with reasoning. It's a space where two imperfect people try to understand each other through patience rather than proof. Logic might win arguments, but grace wins hearts. There are days when words are misunderstood, when moods clash, when timing feels off, and no amount of logic can explain why. In those moments, grace steps in quietly and says, "I forgive you anyway." It allows space for mistakes without keeping score, for silence without resentment, for differences without distance. Grace softens the sharp edges that logic can't smooth out. It reminds you that marriage, isn't about being right. It's about staying kind even when you're confused or hurt. It's the decision to offer love when it's least deserved and most needed. Over time, grace builds safety, and safety builds trust. Two people can't always reason their way to peace, but they can extend grace until peace grows naturally. It's that gentle strength that turns a relationship from a test of patience into a partnership of compassion, where love keeps growing, not because it's perfect, but because it's gracious enough to begin again each day. Life's chaos makes you humble because it reminds you that control is an illusion and certainty is temporary. The moments when everything feels unpredictable are the same moments that strip away pride and bring clarity about what truly matters. Chaos interrupts plans, challenges confidence, and forces you to admit that you don't have all the answers. It takes you from thinking you're in charge to realizing you're a participant in something much bigger than yourself. In that realization, humility grows. It teaches patience because rushing no longer works, gratitude because even small stability feels like a gift, and empathy because you see how fragile everyone else is too. Chaos has a way of shaking the noise out of life until only what's real remains. It softens judgment, slows ambition, and brings you back to simple truths: kindness, love, and presence. When everything feels uncertain, humility becomes your anchor. You learn to listen more, to trust more, and to appreciate the small victories that once went unnoticed. Chaos doesn't destroy who you are. It exposes who you're becoming, shaping a deeper strength that isn't loud or proud, but quietly steady and aware of how precious each ordinary moment really is. Joy hides inside ordinary moments because it's rarely found in the grand gestures or perfect days we imagine. It lives quietly in the unnoticed corners of daily life. The warmth of morning light through a window, the sound of laughter from another room, the small relief of finishing something that once felt hard. We often chase happiness as if it's somewhere far away, but joy waits patiently in the present, disguised as something simple. It doesn't demand attention, it invites awareness. When you slow down enough to notice, you realize that joy isn't something to be earned, it's something to be remembered. It's in shared meals, inside small victories, and even in the rhythm of your own breathing. The more you look for it, the more it appears, not as a burst of excitement, but as a steady undercurrent of peace. Ordinary moments are sacred because they make up most of life. And when you start to see them clearly, you stop rushing through them in search of something bigger. Joy becomes a companion rather than a destination, showing you that contentment isn't found in having more, but in appreciating what's already here, waiting quietly in the middle of everyday life. Keep sipping, keep smiling, keep learning is a simple rhythm for living when life feels too heavy to understand all at once. It's a reminder that progress doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it's just about staying consistent through small acts of hope. Keep sipping means don't stop nourishing your energy, even when the day feels dull or repetitive. It's the quiet decision to keep showing up one moment at a time. Keep smiling means choosing lightness, even when circumstances aren't ideal. Not because everything is perfect, but because gratitude changes how you see what's in front of you. A smile doesn't erase difficulty, but it keeps your spirit open to joy. Keep learning ties it all together, because every day, even the hard ones, has something to teach. Mistakes become teachers, pauses become perspective, and repetition builds wisdom. Together, these small choices form resilience, turning ordinary moments into meaningful steps forward. You don't have to rush or have it all figured out. You just keep sipping what gives you strength, keep smiling through the uncertainty, and keep learning from every experience. Knowing that growth often hides in the simplest habits done with quiet faith and gentle persistence. At the end of the day, marriage, coffee, and confusion, they're kind of the same thing. You wake up, you think you've got it all figured out, and then life says, "Oh, really? Let's see." You spill something, you say the wrong thing, or you order a drink that tastes nothing like what you wanted, but you keep going. That's the beauty of it. You just laugh, take another sip, and hope tomorrow's a little smoother, but it probably won't be. And that's fine, because that's life. It's not perfect, it's not clear, and it definitely doesn't come with instructions. But if you can keep your sense of humor, stay kind to the people you love, and keep showing up, confused, caffeinated, and still trying, then you're doing all right. Maybe the secret to happiness isn't having all the answers, it's just being okay with how weird all the questions are. So pour another cup, say sorry when you mess up, and don't forget to laugh, because that's probably the only part any of us are really getting right.